Hey, big head.
Weed has pretty much been a huge part of your life for a while, obviously way before college. When did you start smoking weed? And even though you said you started doing other drugs in college, would you like to speak on what they were and when you started using those particular drugs?
Um, yeah, sure. Okay. So I mean, I did just your run of the mill party drugs, I guess.
You
I
can't.
guess I'm trying to minimize
I love
it.
how you try to fluff everything. It's beautiful. I love it. I don't know how you do it, but you got like the best words to describe it.
Oh my God. So for a long time, and I believe too, I believe that weed saved my life before it destroyed my life. I truly believe that. Poetry and drugs, and then drugs eventually turned on me, like that's what I felt like. And ultimately, what it did was I did not, it really just separated me from the rest of the world. I thought for a long time I was under the illusion that it had brought me closer to people and that it had brought these connections into my life, but it couldn't have been further from the truth for me. And it actually separated me, and it separated me from my spirit, I feel like, in a lot of ways too. But I started smoking when I was like 14, and I did it to fit in, like a lot of people do, just to be a part of the group, to feel accepted, to feel loved, to feel, a lot of the things that people do in order to feel a part of. People do dumb shit, and that was one of the things. And that wasn't the first. It was just that wasn't the first like dumb thing that I've done to feel accepted or loved. But it was one of those things, and I like instantly fell in love with the feeling that it gave me. It gave me this sense that I didn't have to be anybody else, like, and so I really dove into that, like, kind of head first, I guess. And when I was 17, I went to my first and only actually like treatment. I was 17 years old, and so it was an adolescent like treatment facility when I was still in high school. And it was outpatient, and so I went, and it was like a team of people. There was like a psychologist, there was a drug and alcohol counselor, and then there was a therapist counselor there, and a bunch of other like youth. And we talk about our feelings and all of that. And so, yeah. And I celebrated my clean time there. After I completed it, I celebrated by getting loaded by smoking.
Wow.
I didn't think I had a problem.
Right.
I just thought that I especially thought, now that I know more, I can do better. I don't have to go was going, because I didn't see myself as going to any depths. I didn't think I was hurting anyone. I didn't think any of that when I was younger. And I want to say thank you publicly to you. You like, I didn't know this until like years and years later, but you were the person who like told my mom what was going on with me, and thank you.
So I struggled with a really long time of should I tell your mom and have you hate me, or should I just leave it alone? And I struggled with that for a while, and I finally just made the decision. It's in the best interest of her if I help her than her like me. So I reached out to your mom behind your back. I told her the situation, and how I felt it was going drastically wrong, and obviously, me and your mom didn't have obviously this crazy relationship, but I was just hoping that the information that I was giving her, that she'll take it to heart and, consider getting you help. So yes, I am the one who was
ratted me out.
Yeah, I know pretty much. I snitched on her. That's pretty much what I did. I
loving thing.
I just got the ball rolling. I just say that. I mean, you did all the work. I did nothing. So I just did something like a small drop in the bucket to what you had to do to actually recover. So it's nothing major to me, but yeah.
I'm really grateful, really, really grateful, because it just was a part of the story in my life that needed to happen. And it introduced me to a place that later on saved my life, like a few years later. And it just goes to show of, and I've always, you know, at the end of everything, I've always really just thought that you were a really good person and with a great heart.
So the AA that you attended, that you eventually got clean, did you want to shout out what AA you went to, if anybody else is struggling with drug addiction, and you know what staff member really helped you through it? Was it your sponsor that really helped you?
So I started going to NA. So there's different kinds of 12-step and 12-step groups, and I go to NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous, and that focuses on the disease of addiction. And so, as opposed to like just one particular substance, which is just where I found my home. But if anybody is struggling at all, seriously, please put my like Instagram in the notes wherever, and like reach out to me. It doesn't matter where in the country you are. I promise I have some kind of connection somewhere in this country for meetings. And if not, I know people who know people who know people who can find meetings in your area. And through the pandemic, it made it so easy. Like I was going to meetings in New Zealand. I was going to meetings in Paris and in all over the world, you know, like it's, there's a 24-hour international meeting that's always going on. So there's help that's definitely available, and it's free. So
that's beautiful.
And if you're in Stockton, I'm willing to meet you in Stockton, Bay Area, wherever. Like I'm willing to meet you at a meeting. It does not matter. Like I feel so passionately about it. I've driven over like thousands and thousands of miles over the last 9 years. And the most I've ever driven in one time was to share at a meeting, like to share or to support somebody, was like over 200 miles. And I've flown to Texas, you know.
Oh,
yeah. Like it's like, awesome. It's love. It's so much like passion. Love.
Yeah, it's a community, you know, so it's a family, better yet, you know, so I like that. I like that. And don't think you're slick because you never told me. You just said run of the meal. So don't think I didn't catch that. I'm going to just keep going, though. It's fine. I'm going to just keep going. So sometime around 2016.
Let's not break my parents' heart.